Okay, what I'm going to do in this video is talk about how to create a normalization rule and how to test a normalization rule. And so from the Alma main page here, we're going to click on the Help menu and then Help for this page because I want to show you where the normalization rule syntax information is located. And so we're going to click on Alma Online Help. And then we're going to select Resource Management, Show All Topics. And then we're going to select Show All in the Metadata Management section. And then we're going to select Working with Normalization Rules. And then we're going to select Normalization Rule Syntax. And then there's a link here that says Normalization Rule Examples. And so I'm going to click that. It's going to open up a Word document. And this will contain a bunch of examples of things that you can do to edit your records. And one of the things that we are trying to do is to move our 599 local notes fields information to 970. And so here's an example of how to copy the 500 field to the 856 field. Or let's see, I saw another one. Well, we'll just look at that one. So you want to click on example 12, and that gives you the rule. And you could just substitute the fields that you were interested in, like copy 599 to 970 or something like that. Here's another one. Move the 300 field to 901. Okay, and so you could replace this information with different fields that you wanted to move. Okay, alright, so going back to Alma, how do we create a normalization rule? What we're going to do is go to Resources and open Metadata Editor. And from the MD Editor page, we're going to click on File, and then click on New, and then click on Normalization Rule, and then we're going to give it a name. And then you can give it a description, and you can choose whether this rule is going to be private or shared with other people in your institution. Or if you're going to run the rule immediately, you can click on Enabled. So I'm going to click on Shared, and then I'm going to click Save. And it gives you a box right here, and what you want to do is paste the text that you copied from the example into this box. Whoops. And so what I've done is I've changed the fields, so now it says copy 599 to 970. And then you want to click on Save. And then at this point we want to pull up a record that we want to test this rule out on. And so here's a record here that's got a 599 field. It doesn't have a 970 field, so this is one that was done back when we were on Voyager. So I'm going to take the 599 field and move it to a 970 field. So what I'm going to do is I'm scrolling back to the top of the record. I'm going to hit Edit. That takes me to the MD Editor. And then at this point we've pulled up the record in the MD Editor, and we can go to I'm going to release all these records here, get these out of the way. We're going to click on Rules at the bottom. Okay, I had to start over. I did it again. I opened up the record. In fact, let me just do that over again. So I'm going to go back up to the main page in Alma and just start over because the computer kind of froze. So what I'm going to do is pull this record up and click on Edit Record and pull that up in the MD editor. And then we're going to click on Rules. And this message comes up saying loading data, and it seems to take a while. And at this point you want to click on the Split Editor icon. And then you're going to choose Normalization Rules and Shared, because I didn't make this a private normalization rule, I made it a shared rule. And so we're going to scroll down and search for the rule we just did, which is called Move 599 to 970. And you're going to click on that link, and you'll get a drop-down menu, and you want to select Edit. And you'll see your rule displayed in the right frame. If you click Preview, it's going to show you the result of the rule running on this record. And so on the left you can see the original record just had a 599 field, but no 970 field. And on the right, after we ran the rule, it moved the information that was in the 599 field into the 970 field. And so what the rule did not do was actually, after moving the 599 to the 970, it didn't delete the 599. So this would tell you that you still have some work to do with your normalization rule, and you probably could add some more to it. So after it moved all the information to the 970, it would just delete it from 599. And I just made the page a little bit bigger because you couldn't see where it had the Apply Changes button. And if this is exactly what you wanted to do, you could click Apply Changes, and it would edit this record. And the new record would look like the one on the right. We're not going to do that because obviously we still want to work on the normalization rule and have it remove the 599 as well. So this is the first part of what you would do in creating a normalization rule in ALMA. And the next part would be that you would add the rule to a normalization process that you create. And then you would go into your admin menu and actually run a job on a set. And so if you look at the Manage Sets page, what you would do is, you wouldn't want to do this one by one. You would create a set here of all of the records that had 599 fields, and then you would run a normalization job to apply those changes to all of the records that were in your set. So that's the first part of it. That is how to create the rule and how to test the rule.